Do you know what the word lifting legally requires a concealer to do to your skin? Do you know which $48 Click Pen concealer has been recommended by makeup artists for 25 years while actively emphasizing the fine lines it claims to address? Do you know which anti-aging formula contains an ingredient that pulls moisture from your under-eye area by noon? And which $8 drugstore alternative beats it in independent wear testing? We compared the formulations, tracked the finish behavior on mature skin, and followed the corporate ownership. And what we found is that the concealer aisle markets to women over 40 more aggressively than almost any other category, and fails them more consistently. Today we are covering 13 concealers, 10 that genuinely work for mature skin, and 3 that are making things worse. The worst offender costs $48, has more editorial recommendations than anything else in the category, and is made by the same parent company as the $8 formula that outperforms it. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which formulas to reach for and which ones to put back, regardless of what the counter associate says, starting with the 10 that earn their place. Number 10, Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser, $8. Twist the base and the concealer loads into a cushion tip applicator you tap under the eye with gentle pressure. The formula is fluid enough to move with the skin rather than sit on top of it, which is the single most important quality a concealer can have for anyone dealing with crepiness or fine lines. The active technology includes haloxyl, a peptide compound with published data on microcirculation in the under-eye area. That evidence is not dramatic, but it exists, which already puts this formula ahead of several products at 4 times the price that use the word lifting without a study attached. L'Oreal makes Maybelline. L'Oreal also makes Lancôme. The research pipeline is shared, the price is not. Number 9 earns its place by doing what most concealers at any price refuse to do for mature skin. It stays where you put it without a setting powder, which for anyone with dry or crepey under eyes is not a preference. It is the entire requirement. Number 9, NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, $32. The texture is dense and buttery with enough slip to blend without tugging thin skin. The finish is luminous without being glittery, which matters because shimmer catches on texture you are trying to minimize, not flatter. The formula includes Imperatta cylindrica root extract, a plant-based humectant with clinical data on moisture retention, alongside emollients that create a cushioned film, preventing the formula from settling into lines. $32 for engineering built around that specific performance requirement is one of the few cases in this category where the price reflects the work. Number 8 is the one dermatologists reach for when a patient has the kind of stubborn darkness under the eye that no amount of sleep addresses. Number 8, DermaBlend Flawless Creator, $35. A few drops onto your fingertip. The pigment concentration is visibly higher than almost anything else in the category. This formula was originally developed for medical camouflage covering port wine stains and surgical scarring. The coverage it delivers is not the coverage a standard concealer delivers. For women over 40, dealing with significant discoloration, broken capillaries, or deep pigmentation accumulated over decades of sun exposure, this is the formula that performs where everything else provides commentary. Number 7 does something the previous entries cannot. It functions as a concealer, a color corrector, and a skin treatment simultaneously. Number 7, IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, $28, full coverage, a natural finish, collagen, peptides, and hyaluronic acid built into the pigment load, so the skincare step happens during application rather than requiring a separate product. EL Brands acquired IT Cosmetics in 2016 for $1.2 billion. The formula has not been significantly reformulated since. In this industry, that is a form of integrity. Number 6, Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, $27, high pigment, a matte leaning finish, the kind of coverage that eliminates dark circles in a single layer. Applied with a damp sponge in thin layers, padded rather than dragged, it does not crease. That distinction is what separates it from the 3 products on the villain list, which crease regardless of technique. Number 5 earns its place on one decision the brand made that most competitors at the same price chose not to make. Number 5, Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. $34, no fragrance. In a category where the thin, permeable skin under the eye is routinely exposed to undisclosed fragrance compounds for 8 to 12 hours a day, a formula that leaves fragrance out entirely is worth noting explicitly. The coverage is light, too sheer for significant discoloration, but genuinely exceptional for texture, dryness, and the dull flatness that makes under-eye skin read as older than the rest of the face. Number 4 works across the broadest range of concerns at a price that makes the entries above it difficult to justify. Number 4, ELF Hydrating Camo Concealer. $10, hyaluronic acid, peptides, a pigment load delivering medium to full coverage. It does not crease on dry skin. It does not oxidize significantly over the course of a day. ELF disclosed in SEC earnings calls that their strategy is to benchmark prestige formulas and deliver comparable performance at a fraction of the cost. That is not a marketing claim. That is a business model stated to shareholders under legal obligation. A $10 concealer with a legally disclosed strategy of matching $50 formulas is not a dupe. It is the proof that the margin on the other products was always a choice. Number 3, Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer, $36. The lightest finish on this list, the most buildable coverage, spherical silica particles produce a soft focus effect that also prevents the formula from catching in lines. The same mechanism that makes the finish flattering is the one that keeps it from settling. For the woman whose concern is not discoloration, but the overall aged appearance of under-eye skin, this is the formula that addresses that problem most precisely. Number 2 is not a concealer. It is the step that makes every concealer on this list perform better. Number 2, NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum, $10. Peach toned. Applied in a thin layer before your concealer of choice, it neutralizes the blue and purple undertones that cause dark circles to read through even full coverage formulas. Using a concealer without a corrector first is the single most common reason a concealer fails on mature skin. $10 for the step the beauty industry forgot to make obvious. Number 1, Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer, $7. A German drugstore formula available through online retailers. In independent blind testing against concealers at 5 to 7 times its price, it has consistently performed at or above prestige options on coverage, longevity, and finish. $7. Now the 3 that are actively making things worse. Number 3 on the villain list, Urban Decay Naked Skin, Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, $30. The finish reads luminous in the first 30 minutes. By hour 2, it has settled into every fine line under the eye and is emphasizing the texture it was applied to address. The silicone base creates initial slip, but does not build a moisture film sufficient to keep the formula mobile on crepey skin. For skin over 40 with any under-eye texture, this formula will crease. Not sometimes, consistently. $30 for a concealer that looks better before application than after is not a neutral outcome. Number 2, Too Faced Born This Way. Super Coverage Concealer, $32. The coverage is genuinely excellent. The problem is the talc concentration, a mineral powder used to mattify, present at a level that produces a dry finish useful on oily skin and actively aging on mature skin. The formula pulls moisture from the under-eye area over the course of a day. By noon, skin that looked acceptable at 9 looks noticeably drier and more textured. A drying under-eye formula is not a coverage tool for women over 40. It is a magnifier. Number 1 on the villain list has the most recommendations, the most editorial coverage, and the most consistent failure rate on the specific skin type it is most aggressively marketed to. Number 1, Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat Radiant Touch. $48, the Click Pen, the Gold Barrel. The concealer that launched a category in 1992 and has been coasting on that moment ever since. The formula is too thin for meaningful coverage of dark circles. The luminizing particles that made this product famous catch on fine lines and texture rather than softening them, which on skin over 40 produces the opposite of the effect advertised. Multiple makeup artists who work specifically with mature clients have described Touche Eclat as the product they spend the most time explaining why to replace. L'Oreal owns YSL Beauty. They also make the $8 Maybelline Instant Age Rewind that outperforms it for this exact skin profile. One company, both products, one honest about what it costs to make. Your under-eye skin does not know what the barrel is made of. It knows what is inside it. Read the first 5 ingredients. Ask whether the formula moves with your skin or sits on top of it. That answer is worth $40 more than the name on the packaging.